What's up, everybody? I'm Z-Wade, the Z-Wade, and Z-Wade Photo, coming at you a week later, but moments after I just did a first impressions of the Sony A7RV. And the follow-up that I'm doing here is a first impressions of the Sony FE 50mm f1.2 GM. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that Nikon's 50mm f1.2S for the Z mount is my favorite lens of all time. So it's only appropriate, since I've already tested the Canon 50mm f1.2, that I also do the Sony for my first Sony lens. I can tell you right off the bat, I was expecting it to be made of metal, because I know a lot of Sony lenses are made of metal, but this is not. This is made of heavy-duty plastic. And this happens to have a filter on the front because it's from Borrow Lenses, and I'll leave that on because I don't own this lens. But something I really like about this lens, okay, you get two function buttons, which I don't use very often, but I like to have just in case. You have an on or a autofocus and manual focus switch, which feels nice and sturdy. The focus ring, I'm sure it's focused by wire, which I'm no fan of. It feels pretty good, I'd say. I'm sure it'll stiffen up once you put it on the camera and turn it on. It's pretty heavy, as most of these, you know, 1.2 lenses are, but it's definitely nowhere near as heavy as the Nikon, and I think it's actually lighter than the Canon as well. Something I really like about this lens is actually the aperture ring. That's something that's been missing off of the Nikon lenses for a long time, since the G lenses were introduced. And I miss that because while I don't mind using a command dial to control aperture, I actually find it a little more convenient to just have this, right? And this is cool because you can do this f1.2, or you can do the click switch right there, and it goes to just a like smooth, non-clicking aperture. But I would leave it on because I like the click, right? I miss the days of the click. And if you don't want to use that at all, you just click it over all the way to this A that's on here. I guess that means auto or something. And so that's a cool design. So Sony, I really, really like that. Nikon, maybe think about bringing back the aperture rings. I really like those. It feels pretty well built. It doesn't feel any better or worse built than any Nikon lens, and I'm sure any Canon lens. They're mostly all made of plastic these days. But I want to throw this on the Sony A7RV while I have it, and I want to see how it balances. It is pretty front heavy, but it doesn't feel terrible. It's got nice thickness to it. It's not lens porn, okay? I love lens porn. You know, big gaping front elements, like the Zeiss 85 planar, that's lens porn. The Nikkor Z 50mm f1.2, that's lens porn. This isn't lens porn, but it feels good. It looks good. It's a very attractive looking lens on the front of the A7RV. Hi, Lolly. And overall, it has a really excellent feel to it. So good job on that, Sony. Now, none of that really matters if it doesn't take good images. So let's check out some images. Let me know in the comments below if you have the Sony FE 50mm f1.2 G Master, and tell me what you think of it. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification so you don't miss those videos coming up. Don't you want to know what a Nikon user thinks of a Sony? I'm Z-Wade, the Z-Wade and Z-Wade Photo, and we'll talk soon.